We're heading over to the Hall of History now. We've got some photographs and memorabilia from the early days of the Reed House here. At this point, I want to take the opportunity to properly welcome you, if I may.
Thanks.
So, welcome to the Reed House Hotel.
Do I take off my own hat?
Probably the most prestigious hotel in Chattanooga, if I do say so myself, and indisputably the oldest. The original Reed House was 4-story brick building here, first opened in 1876, I've got it all wrong. January 1st of 1872, the original Reed House opened. The building we're standing in today, this building, first opened in 1926. And that is 98 years of history, almost 99 years for this building alone that we're in. You put them both together though, and we've been here for 153 years now without closing once.
Right.
We have stayed open through floods, fires, wars, depressions, pandemics. Nothing shut us down. We are the oldest continuously open hotel in the entire Southeast. And before the Reed House was here, there was another hotel on this same property, Crutchfield House, owned by Thomas Crutchfield, Colonel Tom Crutchfield. It opened in 1847 and stayed open until 1867, when it unfortunately burned down in a freak accident. Now, of course, this means that Crutchfield House was here right through the American Civil War. There's a bit of history on that as well. In early 1861, January I think it was, Jefferson Davis stopped at the Crutchfield House on his way home to Missouri. He just resigned from the U.S. Senate, and he was about to become the president of the Confederate States of America. Now, on the way home, he stopped at the Crutchfield House, and while he was there, he gave a speech favoring secession from the Union, quitting the Union. Well, Thomas's brother David Crutchfield, a strong believer in the American Union, he hopped on top of a table, denounced Jefferson Davis as a blackguard and a traitor. Pistols were drawn, punches were thrown, women probably fainted. And Dave Crutchfield was dragged away by his brother Thomas before any blood could be shed. But it was a definite sign. It was printed up in local papers as a sign of the deep division in the country at that time. And sure enough, in only a few months, Fort Sumter had been fired upon and the Civil War was on. Now, in 1863, September of 1863, that war came home to Chattanooga again with the Battle of Chattanooga. 30,000 killed overall in that little conflict. And at the end of it, the Union Army had captured Crutchfield House. They converted it into a field hospital where they treated something like 500 battle casualties here in one day. Now, of course, not all those casualties pulled through. When that would occur, the bodies would be taken to the basement where a temporary morgue was established. So some people say the Reed House is haunted by the ghost of Annalisa Neitherly. I say that there are more than one ghost in this property. Now, as I mentioned, in 1872, Dr. John Crutchfield opened the Reed House straight across the street from the Union Station rail station. Right across, there was the main rail station in town, and any travelers coming through would stop here at the rails, and they would have the hotel right across the street. So it was a very good location. John Crutchfield was a veteran of the Spanish-American War, had been wounded in that war. I mean, it's not John Crutchfield, John Reed, of course. Right. Sorry. He'd been wounded in that war, and he wasn't physically able to keep the hotel up by himself. Now, his wife, Kate, turned out to be, kind of the power behind the throne on that. It was her style that kind of defined the Reed House character as we opened up. Also, Dr. John's son, Samuel, took over for Dr. John at the age of 19. This would have been in 1876. He grew out a goatee, make himself look a bit more mature, and he ran the Reed House from 1876 through 1924, 1942, when he passed on. In 1924, though, he started construction on the building that we're standing in today. You have construction here from 1925. You can see here the construction workers. You can also see horse-drawn wagons bringing in construction equipment. There not being any trucks at the time. A slightly later picture here shows the construction continuing apace. And of course, within a year, 1926, the Reed House that we all know and love opened up. Now, as I was saying, Samuel Reed passed on in 1942. The hotel was bought in 1943 by, try to remember, Albert No Hotels. It was a chain of hotels throughout the South, and that kind of brought in the silver era of the Reed House. It wasn't quite as glamorous as the Golden Age, but it was still we were still a fairly prominent hotel. That went on for about 10 years. Then Unum Provident, the insurance people, bought the hotel. They ran it through the 1960s. Actually, for a brief time in the late 70s, we were affiliated with the Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel for a 2-year period in the late 70s. It was the Chattanooga Choo Choo Reed House there for a time. And after that, we went through various other changes. Other things were brought in. A disco was set up at the second floor. Frankly, we don't talk about that time a lot. The hotel kind of fell into kind of not really disrepair, but it wasn't quite as glamorous anymore. Now, in 2016, Avocet Corporation, a holding company from out of North Carolina that holds the commanding order on about a dozen high-end hotels and restaurants throughout the Southeast. They bought into the Reed House, purchased it, spent $30,000 on renovation. Excuse me, I'm all over the place. Spent $30 million on renovations.
Like it? Yes.
Indeed.
I will be staying in the older section of the hotel.
Yes, the historic tower.
Yes, exactly.
And that's pretty much catches us up to today. Now, allow me to take you up to the second floor.
Okay.
I want to show you the silver ballroom. I should also mention here is the original key card behind the hotel front desk. The key slots where they would keep the hotel keys for the building. There are over 400 slots here because in the early 20th century, the rooms were divided up into fairly small things. So we only had over 400 rooms in this one building, as opposed to the 160 that we have in it today. All right, ma'am, if you care to follow me, we'll head up to the mezzanine level. We have an elevator down here, post haste. Here comes one now. Okay, we have another one coming down. Looks like this one will get here first. And elevator going up. Hello, ladies. What floor are you headed for?
4.
Sorry?
4.
Fourth floor, absolutely. Hope you enjoy your stay with us. Good luck at the competition this weekend.
Thank
Is
you.
it competition?
Cheer competition.
My daughter was in she did nationals, traveled all over the country. She did amazing stuff with cheer.
Really? What gym did she go to?
She went to Top Dog in Florida. They were really great. Good luck, girls.
Oh, ma'am, let's see. I believe we can bypass that. Right this way, if you please.
Thank you.
We'll have to make this rather brief, but watch your step here. And here we have the silver ballroom, our crown jewel. 3,900 square feet, 25-foot ceilings, 3 Waterford crystal chandeliers, top of the line. You'll notice the trim on the ceilings and on the walls. That is not silver paint, that is actual silver filigree. Likewise, the wall fixtures are solid silver as well. We hold large weddings here, large business meetings. Every New Year's Eve, we do a massive New Year's Eve party here, complete with a live jazz band.
Oh, I really wanted to go over.
Oh yeah.
I thought this I've been going to the past just after midnight.
Indeed. And oh, I'm sorry.
No, actually, I think that's the way he would have wanted to go. He loved New Year's Eve, and he just decided that was it.
I suppose so.
And he was 94. He had
Okay.
a very good life.
Good deal.
So,
All right.
beautiful.
Indeed.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. And now, if you wish, we can head up to room 311. I can show you the haunted room and give you the full story of the ghost of Annalisa Neitherly. Right this way.
Okay. Thank you, sir.